Hey guys, today we're gonna make beef barley soup. This is a super simple recipe. Here's all the ingredients. I hope the taste testers are gonna love it just as much as I do. Let's get into it right now. We'll start over here. I have 6 cups of low sodium beef broth. This is just from the box. It's lower sodium than if you buy low sodium beef base. That being said, the beef base product that I use often, and I use chicken base as well, they have more flavor. They have much more flavor than this does. But this is gonna work anyway. We'll add some salt if need be to the final end result. I have 3/4 cup of red wine. I think red wine makes this dish a lot better. If you can't have alcohol or you don't want it, take it out. You'll be totally fine. The other kind of special ingredient is the Worcestershire sauce, and that really boosts the flavor, the beef flavor and the meatiness of the dish. And we have 1 tablespoon of that. For the beef, I have 2 pounds of chuck roast that I just cubed. You could use other types of beef for this recipe, but this is really the best one and it's the most affordable. As far as the celery, carrot, and onion, we have about 1.5 cups of each. So the recipe has 4 medium carrots. I used about 6 or 7 here because they were carrots that were very thin. 1 medium onion translates into about 1.5 cups of onion. These are all diced. I kept a fairly large size on these carrots here just because I want them to have a little bit of integrity by the end of the dish. Parsley, about 3 tablespoons, that's gonna finish it up. We have 1 cup of pearl barley. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's going to expand a lot in the liquid. We have some garlic that's gonna go in the dish too. That's just always gonna make things better. And then I have some thyme. So use as much or as little as you like. This is a fair amount. I think this will be really good for the soup. I have my beef here and I have a Dutch oven. We're gonna heat this Dutch oven to about medium heat. You don't really have to preheat it because it's got the coated enamel, but just heat it up and we're gonna pat our beef dry and season it with salt and pepper before we sear it. Even after cutting it and doing the veggies, it got a little bit of wetness in there and we wanna remove as much as we can to get a little bit better sear on our beef. The second we put salt on it now, it's gonna start drawing out more water, but there won't be any time between that and when we put it into the pan. I'm just gonna put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in here. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Let's get our salt on here. So I got 2 pounds of beef. I'm gonna use about a little bit more than 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. You could use plenty more, but we're gonna be building up everything with more seasoning, and we also have sodium, which isn't that much, but still from the boxed beef stock. All right, and then we will get our beef down, and you'll hear it right away, but I'm not gonna be able to fit it all, so I will do 2 batches. It's gonna take about maybe 5-6 minutes per batch. After about the halfway point, 3 minutes, just turn them over. We'll get them nice and brown. All right, guys, so it's been about 2-3 minutes. And like I said, you don't have to go crazy with this, but you will get some decent color on it. Just like that. That looks beautiful, right? I'm using silicone-coated tongs because I don't want to use metal on the bottom of my high-end Target Dutch oven. I joke, but this Dutch oven is just as good as a La Creuset, and it's about, I don't know, 1/4 of the price. All right, so that's looking beautiful. Couple more minutes, put them into a plate, and we'll do our second batch. These look so good. See, there's a lot of great flavor at the bottom of the pot. So it's been about 6 minutes that took, and that means that our meat, that means our meat over here has been 6 minutes waiting. So, you can divide it next time and so no water is accumulates on it and you can season them batch by batch. But when you're making a video, often you can't. So we'll just put them all in like that. By the way, I forgot to show you how good that looks, that first batch. Oh, that is so good. Okay, that other batch only took a few minutes. Make sure you save all the juices too. Keep them right in your dish. Then put them off to the side. You don't even have to tent it. It's gonna go back in the soup. And here is all of our veggies. So let's get them all in. So now, if you don't have enough beef fat in there, you can put a little bit more olive oil, which I'm gonna do. So you got all that really great flavor down there. And what we're gonna do is we're going to remove that with our wine in a bit. But for now, you can move your wooden spoon around and you can scrape up most of it right on these veggies. We're just gonna soften these up a tad. We're not gonna do 15-20 minutes because these are gonna cook so much longer in the soup. Okay guys, and these only went for about 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. That's how they look, just like that. And we'll put the garlic in, let it cook for about a minute. You can make a little bit of room in the pan to try to get a little bit of color on that garlic. All right, and that garlic has been in there for a minute. Remember, it's minced, so you don't wanna burn it. at all. And we're good there. Now we have 3/4 cup of dry red wine. I'm using Cabernet, but any dry red wine would be fine. I'm gonna put it in and then turn up the heat to about high. As that is cooking, use a flat edge of your wooden spoon, which I have right here. This makes it easier instead of using just like a round edge. And just scrape all those brown bits off while this reduces. It's gonna take about 2 minutes for this wine to reduce by half if you have your heat at the high setting. So you're boiling out. And with that wooden spoon, you can make sure that any of those brown bits that are left can be removed. That's flavor bits. It's all gonna go into the soup. Most of them have come off from just the saute process. Okay, that's reduced by about half. All the juices of the beef and the beef itself, let's get in there. We're just putting everything in here. It doesn't matter about the order, guys. Let's get the stock in. It's 6 cups. Oh. 6 cups, if you can get it in there, of low sodium beef stock. Our 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then I'm gonna tie up my thyme. And you know, I get a lot of comments about this. People say, thank you for leaving the mistakes in. Do you guys watch a lot of people who don't leave any mistakes in? You can let me know in the comments, because I mean, that's definitely not realistic, right? Everybody makes mistakes. I definitely think they're worth leaving in. I don't do fake mistakes. That was a real mistake there. Here's the thyme, tied up like that. Right in. If you have a little, what's the French word for it, Tara? It's the little tiny sachet. If you have a sachet, then put your thyme in there. And guys, you don't have to just use thyme. You can use rosemary, you can use sage, you can put a bunch of peppercorns inside of your sachet. I'm gonna bring this up to a boil. Let's talk about today's sponsor, ButcherBox. If you're a regular viewer, you probably heard me mention ButcherBox a few times. Through their convenient delivery service, ButcherBox takes the hard work out of finding and shopping for humanely raised meat like grass-fed and pasture-raised beef, crate-free pork, organic chicken, and wild-caught seafood, which saves time. And if you're like us, you spend a lot of time baking cookies and gathering with the family around the holidays. Our box is shipped directly to our home and is loaded with food I can feel good about feeding my family. And just when I thought ButcherBox couldn't get any better, they surprised me and added one of my favorite cuts of beef to their offering, the tomahawk steak. The tomahawk steak is outstanding on the grill or cast iron pan and is just perfect for an impressive dinner for 2. And for a very limited time, ButcherBox is offering a free tomahawk steak with your first order. So if you're looking for an easy way to access meat and seafood that's sourced from farmers and fishermen who meet the highest standards for quality, click on the link in the description to get started today. And a big thanks to ButcherBox for sponsoring this video. Okay, we are boiling. You can bring your heat down to a simmer. Simmer means little tiny bubbles, a little less than 212 degrees Fahrenheit, so that'll be around a 3 out of 10 on this stove. And just gonna stir this around, make sure nothing's sticking. Nothing should stick, guys, but when you're simmering this now, you probably wanna go back to it every once in a while just to check, but you should be totally fine. We're gonna use our cover and we're going to crack the lid, kind of like that. What that's going to do is it's going to give it a little bit of evaporation, but not much. Most of it's just going to hit the top of the pot and it's going to go right back down again. If you leave it off completely, you'll reduce it more. I have in the recipe that you're going to cook this for about 60 minutes and then you're going to put your barley in. Barley takes around 30 to 45 minutes. You don't want to put your barley in until the beef is almost tender. So we're going to check the beef at about the 45-minute mark, but it might take even all the way up to 1 hour and 15 before we put that barley in. I hope all that makes sense. It's not rocket science here, but you know, things are dictated by how high you have your heat, how quickly it's cooking, and the size of your beef. All right, guys, it's been exactly 1 hour. We're gonna check it again. Give it a little mix through. It smells amazing. Right there. Now, I'm definitely getting it's a little bit more tender now. I can almost pull that, almost. You know, if all else fails and you don't trust your skills with the fork right here of piercing it, just take a bite of one piece. Yeah, this is definitely coming apart enough. I'll show you. See this? It's coming apart. Ooh, that's hot. That is so good. And we're ready to go. You know, as you're stirring it every 20 minutes, just make sure nothing's sticking. We're fine here. We have enough liquid. After the barley, which sucks up a ton of liquid, if we need to add more, we'll just add a little bit of water, or you could even add a little bit more of the beef stock. Then we'll season it up, finish it up, all that. That's not yet. That's when we're gonna get the taste testers down and everything. So here is 1 cup, exactly, of pearl barley. Mix that through, and then I'm gonna let it continue to cook. I'm not gonna cover it now. You do have to kind of stay here because some of it will want to stick to the bottom. So every once in a while, use your flat part of your spoon to see if anything is sticking down there. I'm gonna turn my heat up just a bit more to maybe to a 4 out of 10. It's been about 20 minutes on the barley. You can see how it's starting to get a little bigger, a little plumper. You can pull out your thyme. Basically now it's just stems, all the leaves have come off. So I'll just take that and remove it. And then we'll keep cooking this. Keep stirring it. Don't let anything stick. And if you need a little bit more liquid, you just add a little bit more water in there. You can use warm water so you don't cool your soup too much. And this is after 24 minutes. I've been testing it. We're getting very thick here. What happens is a lot of your liquid's gonna absorb, the barley's gonna absorb it. You can see how delicious that looks, but it's gonna take another 15 minutes. Put a few cups of water in this huge glass Pyrex thing I had that I spilled all the stock with before, and I'm just gonna put in about a cup to start here. And the reason it's warm is just so we don't take longer for our temperature to get back up. By doing that, you won't lose any time really. All right, so it's a little bit looser now, and we'll let the barley keep cooking, and then it'll start thickening up again. I maybe could have done it maybe 5 more minutes longer, but I think this is pretty good. It's going to be nutty, it's going to be a little chewy, it's going to look just like that. Now I've been tasting this a while to get the right texture on it, and it is so delicious. It does not need any salt. We had the salt on the beef and we had the salt from the stock. Hopefully the taste tester thinks it doesn't need any more salt either. I am gonna put some pepper in here. If it gets a little too thick for you while you're waiting, for people to come to the table, whatnot, add more hot water in there. That's all you have to do. You could also add more hot, low sodium beef stock. Gonna add the parsley in as well. So that was a few tablespoons, and that just adds a nice color and freshness to it. So we ran into a problem. We were filming. This mic went out and the receiver, so it's probably, 45 minutes we were waiting for the things to charge.
Oh, yeah. I just noticed we have matching Crocs.
Yes, and we have matching Crocs on. Crocs.
Socks and Crocs.
Socks and Crocs. So what do you think this is, James?
I heard you guys say barley and beef.
That's right. Why don't you try it?
Okay.
And I'm gonna get a card, so. Yeah,
Put noodles in this instead.
Noodles instead? You don't like the barley?
It's like...
Well, you know what? Why don't you hold off until after your rating to rip it apart. Go for your rating. That won't look.
It gets like an 8.5 because it's so close to being a 9. It's just that the barley just doesn't go with this. But then everything else is so good, so that's why it gets an 8.5.
It's called beef barley soup. I didn't make it up.
You mean beef noodle soup?
Beef noodle soup. Yeah, which would be kind of like the short rib ragu that we did. So if it had noodles in it, it would be higher. What do you think of the flavor? What do you taste in there for what else do you taste? You taste any herbs? You taste any What do you think?
Mostly tasting the beef.
What does it make you? Yeah, it's very beefy.
Makes me feel like I'm eating like stew,
Yeah.
a cold winter night.
Well,
with the fireplace on.
Well, thank you, James. I appreciate the rating. I'm gonna overrule him and give it a 9.5. But my rating doesn't matter. It's only his rating that matters. I thought it was better than an 8.5.
The barley is just not it.
Everybody knows that James is biased towards pasta.
Yeah.
That's why he wants noodles.
Yeah. Well, and you like the beef though, right?
I'm not surprised by that.
Well, you're devouring it.